All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are reviewing Roadhouse. Roadhouse is a 1989 American action film directed by Rowdy Herrington and starring Patrick Swayze as a cooler at a new refurbished roadside bar who protects a small town in Missouri from a corrupt businessman. This movie has a 41% critic score and a 66% audience score. It's an hour 52. It's currently on Netflix. Aiden, this was your pick. I'm shocked that the scores were that low because I feel like this movie,
but it's also
not that bad.
It's an old movie. That's why.
Yeah, it came out in the late 80s, early 90s. So
that's where I think that that score's coming from.
Yeah, so it says right here it grossed in the U.S. Almost 28 million. Sure looks pretty good. I assume the budget wasn't that crazy for this movie. I didn't look into that. Yeah, so.
That's not bad. But, almost double profit,
Yeah, I mean, and he was coming off Dirty Dancing, I believe, was like 2 years before this. So this was his next big movie.
Not bad.
But yeah, Aiden, what made you want to recommend this movie? How many times have you seen it?
So let me probably. What? Go ahead.
I can guarantee I know why Aiden wanted to recommend this movie, but I'll let him.
Yeah, dude, another sex scene like nudity and stuff like that.
I'll let him explain that to himself.
Buddy, sorry, it's no fucking Marvel flick with fucking kissing robots and fucking shit.
What? Yeah, it's worse for you. You're just horny all the time, man.
What do you mean? About the fucking other million people that have seen this movie? You're gonna call them horny fucks?
Yeah,
you watched it. You're a horny
eyes
fuck.
Wide shut. I'm not disagreeing.
That's a good movie.
Just the same, man. It's just a constant trend of all these picks that you're picking. It's just there's a theme.
Yeah, that it has one sex scene. It's an adult movie. Sorry,
bro. This literally it literally says squirting contest in this fucking movie.
Oh man, don't yell at me. Fucking yell at the director.
I'm not arguing at all.
But no, I mean I've seen this movie like three times, and I mean it's a classic film. I mean, you can ask any person over the age of 40 if they've seen this movie, and they'll tell you yes. And I can't remember the first time I watched it. I watched it on DVD.
Were you like young?
Yeah, I was young, and I mean, I didn't really remember it until I rewatched it when it was on Netflix like a couple years back, or I mean, probably a year ago. And I mean, dude, it's just so fucking good, man. It's literally one of those movies where you watch it, you just want to go to a bar and beat the shit out of someone. So it definitely gets the testosterone fucking flowing through the veins. But no, I mean, like we just mentioned when we were off camera, that they're remaking this with Jake Gyllenhaal, which is kind of crazy because it could go two different ways. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't miss, so I think that it's going to be good. But I think they're going to do a whole different approach. Like we saw him filming, I think it was like the intro scene at UFC, whatever card it was with John Jones and all them. But him and McGregor were fighting in the ring, and we think that the kind of scenario of that movie, or like the baseline of it, is that he was an ex-UFC fighter going against McGregor, obviously, and he after the bell rings, he late hits him. So then I believe that he's going to get kicked out of the UFC and kind of, pursue his career and being a cooler at a bar. So I think that's going to be a pretty cool story. I think that's kind of original. It's not like they could have done it a lot worse. So we're excited for that. But I mean, you got to look back at this movie, Patrick Swayze in his absolute prime.
Sam Elliott, man.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't forget
Sam Elliott. No, when I seen Sam Elliott, I was like, damn, like he still kind of looks the same, but he looks like young and like with the long hair. It was like completely different.
Did you know right away, Mike?
I was for like a quick second.
As soon as I heard the voice, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, "Yeah, 100%." But after a little bit, I was like, "Okay, that has to be Sam Elliott." Because I've seen what's it called with Ashton Kutcher? The Ranch, I think.
The Ranch. Yeah,
I've watched
seen that too.
The first two episodes or the first two seasons of that, and it wasn't bad.
Me too.
It was kind of boring. It was kind of boring.
He's funny in it.
Yeah, he's really funny. So Sam Elliott's a great fucking actor, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when I was watching Mike, if you noticed that it was him.
Yeah,
because he was in A Star Is Born also.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so.
I mean, this cast is really good, man. You got who is it? Kelly Lynch. She was in a bunch of older movies. Julie Michaels, and then you also have Ben Gazzara, who played Brad. The guy that was like pretty much buying the whole town.
Yeah.
He's a great actor as well. So
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
he did really good. There's a couple of things in this movie that I'm like, all right, that's a little bit of a stretch.
No, it's definitely cheesy, but
Cheesy,
I mean, like,
but-
what other movie have you seen that is like this? Absolutely nothing. Like, you can say
unique.
like Blood and Bone and all that stuff, but it's not even. I guess it's similar to it, but all that came after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
But
like
go ahead.
it's like pre-Fight Club era where it's just like everybody just wants to see action and just everybody getting their ass beat and drinking and sex. Like that's literally all this era was. And for me, like the only grief, or not only grief, but like a little cheesy for some scenes, but like the only thing that kind of got me that I didn't like is like how like the guy that was running the whole town and charging people 10% on every business, like him and
He's
Patrick
like a
Swayze,
mobster.
yeah, but how did like Patrick Swayze just come in and be like they hate each other, they want to kill each other? Like how can over a span of a couple months, like how can that happen? You know, like he doesn't even know him a half a year ago.
No, but I mean everything just keeps adding up when they keep fucking his car up, and you know, obviously when he starts hooking up with like his, was she his stepdaughter? Like,
No, it
what
was
was it?
it was
Like
like
her
his
cousin or some shit.
no, it was his love interest. Like he wanted
from
to,
years ago.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance with her. He wanted to like be with her
Yeah,
and
'cause she
marry
left
her,
town, right?
and then she left town and she came back.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that's the reason why he hated Patrick Swayze's
But I thought that she
character.
also mentioned like, no, he took me under his wing and like
That's
did
Red.
did all this.
That's
yeah,
Red.
that's her uncle after her parents died.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
He's the guy that his building gets blown up. His store.
The guy that owns
Yeah.
the auto shop or Harbor Freights, whatever the fuck you
I
want to
didn't
call it.
notice too. While we're still kind of talking about the actors a little bit, so I knew Patrick Swayze died from cancer. I thought it was more recent than he died in 2009. I didn't know it was that long ago. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Really?
Yeah, so, yeah, and he's amazing, obviously in this movie, but like Dirty Dancing, Ghost, Donnie Darko. There's so many.
Darko,
like, yeah, and they're all within that like 10-year span where he was just doing banger after banger, like not missing at all. Like amazing movies.
He didn't miss for a little bit, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
This
But I was like,
cast
damn.
is
Point
very,
Break.
yeah, it's very unique. I'll say that.
Dude, but
Would you guys think about the guy that owns the bar in town? I think his name was Tillman.
Yeah, he looked like Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, he gave me a creepy vibe at first. To be honest with you, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I want you. And he's like, all right, 5,500 a night. Like he's a goddamn escort or something.
But no, but that's the best part about this movie, and I mean, we can kind of jump the gun here because I don't know how we're gonna do this, but like that's the great part about this movie is they never tell you what, like, you know, Patrick Swayze's character did. You know, how did he learn how to fight? Give me one sec. Fuck the damn air quality, man.
Fucking Canada.
Yeah, it's like his character's mysterious, and no one knows like who the fuck he is. They just like everyone knows the name, like, oh shit, that's so and so, and it's like fuck, like no one fucks with him. And then you got people that are like, basically big dicking him, like, hey, like I could take you, and then he beats the shit out of him. And,
Well, yeah, because if you're a drunk customer and you hear that this guy can like kick ass and he's one of the
then
best,
you rip
you're
people's
like,
throats out. And
Yeah.
then you're like, you don't think anything of it. You're like, oh, it's just bullshit. Like it's just word of mouth. You know, it's like game of telephone. And
Yeah.
then we see him literally fucking rip someone's throat out.
that was
Well,
crazy.
So good, dude.
What do you think about like the initial like him booting out a couple people, like the bartender for skimming, and
It's
like
good.
a couple? What'd you think about that? Like he was just big dick and all the employees.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that he knows his shit, basically.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
I'm just saying
because
though,
who knows like how many bars he ran before the one that he took him from, you know? When he
Yeah.
up and moved.
Well, that's the thing too. It was the New York bar, right, where he's like, "Well, let's take it outside." He gets basically stabbed or I guess scratched or whatever it is, and they walk outside and he just walks right back in. Like it takes a while till we actually see him like start fighting people. You know what I mean? So we're kind of hearing these rumors too of what people are saying to him and being like, "Can he really fight? Like, how good is he?" And I just want to mention too that the fact
fuck,
of
that's
fighting
Dalton.
scenes. Yeah. Patrick Swayze like does all his own stunts, so it's like that's really him doing it, and you can definitely tell.
he was ripped as hell in this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but like you can shred it even, I'd say. But you could say what was great about the fight scenes though is like he looks amazing. Sorry.
How many times did you
It's the
pause
same
this movie?
fucking adjective, bro. Like,
Well, they're two different things. Jacked and shredded is two different things.
That's
Anyways,
true.
You wouldn't know,
yeah,
but go on.
you should know that, Mike.
Yeah. All right, little
see,
bro.
you're jacked. I'm more shredded.
Mike, we gotta ask you a question. What do you think his routine was to get looking like that?
Get that
I
fit.
think it was trend, steroids,
a little cardio.
Honestly, no, I think he was
powerlifting.
natural. I think he was natural, to be honest with you. He just did a lot of like
Yeah, like he didn't look too big.
Yeah, he probably did a lot of body weight stuff. He was doing the yoga. He's probably doing that shit.
Meditating.
Yeah, meditating. He's on the Zen shit. So I mean, for the most part, though, it's all calisthenics. I think for him, maybe a little bit of weights, but.
Do you think he worked out at a powerhouse, or what are we thinking? Like,
I think he worked out of your garage. Actually, he was using the weights in your garage that you never use.
My house was built in '48, so
he could have been there.
Yeah,
he could have been
there.
Yeah.
That was before he was even born.
Yeah, man. He could have been lifting weights. He could have been fucking in the womb still, man.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even conceived.
You might have been a thought.
I was born in '98.
You might have been a thought.
Yeah, I hope. My mom was in elementary.
Jesus, bro.
The fight scenes in these, though, I do like that he gets like stabbed and beat on. Like it shows that he's not. I guess like when you watch like John Wick or something, like Keanu Reeves, like you're like, this man even like, can anyone beat him at all? Like there's no chance. Whereas in this movie, like throughout it, you're like, damn, like he's getting stabbed a little bit. You know, he has to go to the hospital at one point, or the doctor. Like I really enjoyed the way they showed that he wasn't invincible. He was a human, but he had.
I agree.
He's very talented.
Yeah,
don't fuck.
I don't get, dude. Like how nobody just ran in the bar and fucking shot him dead in the head. Like if it was that.
I mean,
but I know if it was that big of a deal where like he's ruining my life, I'd literally just grab a gun and shoot him point blank. Like you have the police under your belt. You have the whole town under your belt. They can't say shit. Like I would point blank shoot him if I was in the. Yeah. I forgot his name. Fuck. Brad Wesley. Ben. Yeah, the whole. You know what I'm talking about. The fucking town guy where he's overruling everything.
Yeah, when he leaves New York and he gives that. I think he's homeless. That guy, his car. I thought that was really funny. He's like, just keep it.
Yeah. He's got the nice ass
Mercedes.
BMW, or he's got the Benz.
Yeah.
Under the tarp. And he just up and leaves.
Yeah.
But what'd you think about where he's living for $100 a month?
It's worth it still.
With COVID rates now, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was sweet that he was at the farm with that one guy, and that one guy was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Cool.
And of course, he lives across the street from Brad, across the pond, basically.
And what's creepier is Brad's fucking looking out the window, and Patrick Swayze and fucking Kelly are getting it on the fucking
on the roof.
the roof.
Yeah.
If I seen that and I was him, and that was like the love of my life, I would drive over there with a gun. Like I would be that upset.
Well, he burned the house down.
I know, that's crazy too, man.
Yeah. He burned up buildings.
Yeah, but I think that we got to mention Wade Garrett. That's the fucking. I think that just having like, that's like his. Not even, what do you call it? Like apprentice, basically.
Mentor.
Yeah, mentor. And obviously Dalton's the apprentice and shit like that. And, he learns from him, and he's just out there beating the shit out of people in his own bar. And then they obviously work together, and then they like each went their separate ways. And then when shit hits the fan, he gives him a call, and then he pulls up, and then he just starts whooping everyone's ass.
Well, he doesn't even tell him to come, really. Wade just
he kind of just appears.
Yeah,
well, he called him and he said that. Yeah,
he knows
in the
that
conversation.
He's in deep shit.
Yeah, and it's funny that he just always happens to get himself into shit wherever bar he works at. Like there's always like a fucking foe.
It's always romanticized in movies, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see what the bar looked like when he got there in Missouri, compared to what it is like at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the ground was all like sand or dirt or something like that.
Yeah, it was
they had
insane.
the cage covering the.
Well, that was also
lie.
good because you
Stage.
see that obviously what he's doing, he's paying him all that money to like be a cooler, and it's working out. His bar's popping. It's the biggest bar in town, and then you got the fucking lingering threat that's Brad Wesley and like his posse or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah,
gang of idiots. And they
I'm not gonna
stay getting their ass whooped.
Literally.
Yeah, because what was the place called? Double Deuce.
Yeah,
Double Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After the first act, where things kind of hit the fan at Double Deuce, where like you've seen like the blind guy singing and playing the guitar, and I just
Cody.
I was
that
really
guy's
cool.
cool.
I really got pulled in, to be honest with you. Not a lot of movies do that at first, where it's like, okay, like yeah, this is gonna be a good movie, but like this movie, I think for me definitely did it in terms of like getting my attention at first.
Especially that he's blind, he's playing the guitar, he's ripping that shit, and then they got the cage and everyone's throwing bottles and
That
stuff.
yeah, like that's just like a little like example of like the whole scene that I was kind of just like really pulled into. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
I know, it's good. I'm glad nothing happens to Cody at the end of the movie.
Oh, me too. That would have been really shitty if that happened.
Because we see Wade Garrett obviously get killed.
Yeah.
And he pulls up to the bar late too.
That reminded me of like Dark Knight, man. It's like pick which address you want to go to. It's like heads or tails.
Well, dude, it pissed me off because he goes to see Doc and he's trying to like, I don't know, like pull her out of there, but like he doesn't tell her, hey, your life is in jeopardy.
Well, he just grabs her by the wrist. We're leaving.
We're leaving.
I would say fuck no too if I was there. Like, what do you mean we're leaving? You know, you just fucking killed a man in front of my eyes. Like, I'm not gonna go with you. Am I wrong? Like,
yeah, you had my uncle's house basically blown up, and now you're.
No, his whole every fucking the person you live with, their house got blown to shreds. He almost died. That scene was corny as hell too. Like, are you alive? He's like, yeah, I wish I wasn't. Get off me, or whatever he said.
I'll be all right when you get off me. There's a lot of good quotes though, like the "I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice." Like I like that part a lot. I've definitely heard some of these quotes before, and I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
The only thing I knew about this movie beforehand was from just the Family Guy scenes where he's like Roadhouse, he spins and kicks someone, which you see a lot in this movie. The amount of times he disarms someone who has a gun in their hands by just kicking them is crazy.
Or
probably
a knife.
6 or 7 times. Yeah, or a knife.
Well, you know what the saying is for them: go for the knee.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Dude, they're beating the shit out of those big ass dudes.
I know, but if I ever get in a bar fight, I'm gonna use that shit. Just kick them right in their balls or right in the knee.
Oh, like when Wade first got there and went back there to help Dalton, and that tall ass dude was like coming up to him, he just
takes him
hits him right in the
quick.
balls. Yeah.
God.
I don't even care. Whatever. There's no forbidden rule. It's a street fight. Like,
dude, another quote that got me too. It was right before he pulled his like throat out.
Contest.
No, not even that. Not even that.
Well, that's the funny part.
I fuck dudes like you in prison.
Oh yeah.
I used to fuck dudes like you in prison. I'm like,
when they were at the water.
Yeah. I go, wait, what?
That's another grief I have, man. They proclaimed this guy to be like, they made him out to be some badass throughout the whole movie. He's like,
who, Jimmy?
Yeah, whatever.
He was even beating up Wade quite a bit too.
He's got the dangling earring, and he just looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, and then they fight, and he just dies. Like he just kills.
Well, no, but remember before, like, I mean, there's so many different fight scenes with all those guys, but they like let him go. Remember, and like he could have easily fucking just bash it out right there, but then and then he lets him go. Go ahead.
No, go on. I was gonna say something. I got another scene that's super fucking funny, man.
So then, they easily could have ended it like halfway through the movie, and then they let him go. They go separate ways, and then obviously like the end of Jimmy is when he blows up wherever Patrick Swayze or Dalton's staying at the barn, and then he's on the motorcycle. He fucking 90-degree angle, just fucking off the line.
Clotheslined him like WWE.
And then he goes and he's just beating the shit out of him. They're going back and forth. He's throwing sand in his face, like doing all that. That he fucking his girl or what's her name in the movie?
Doc.
Yeah, Doc is just watching. He fucking full arms and then fucking rips his throat out.
Well, dude. And the whole
that's where I sat up. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Hey, he did pull a gun on him though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
so
that's why he had to kill him.
Completely justified. But
100%.
Wade and him talked about that, like from Memphis, like the same kind of situation. He killed a man in Memphis, and it's haunting him, and he does the same thing in front of his new girl. And like, how do you get past that? Like if you
that's the thing. I mean,
if I seen a girl kill someone in front of my eyes, I don't care if it was self-defense or not. Like, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Well,
like,
she's a doctor too and cares about stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
that
she also
more.
is watching everything that those guys are doing to him. They're terrorizing him, basically ruining his life, and they won't let up.
And she was. I get why she was, but she was just mad at him. Like they didn't even talk. It was just like all right, I'm not talking to you after that whole
well,
incident.
Because Jimmy was basically hers, like they were a thing.
Well, dude, and Brad Wesley, all those henchmen that he kept sending to the bar, it's the same guys. They just kept getting their ass kicked every single time. I'm like, why would you just quit or something at that point?
The one guy where Wesley is beating his ass like when they pull up in front of his house and like the roundabout, he just punched him in the face.
Jesus Christ, man! No,
and then he still works for him. Like
the funniest scene besides like the whole stripper squirting contest is when fucking Doug Dimmadome pulls up to the car dealer and uses his monster truck and drives over all the fucking
he
cars.
wrecks everything and fucking goes through the glass.
Yes,
dude.
Bro. Like
that's the
funny
cheesiest part of this entire movie.
Well, that's the 100%. Thing. The
100%.
funny part is the whole fucking town's there for some reason. Every business owner, Brad, Dalton, the doc, for just some odd reason, they're all at the car dealer. And
every single person that lives in that town's outside.
The guy pulls up in the monster truck and runs over 20 cars.
Dude, and then the worst part is Red hits him with the "Don't you have insurance for that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Red, you asshole.
Stupid, dude.
That was funny, man. And then Red gets his fucking auto shop burned after that.
Blown up right before,
Brad's driving down the one way or like the 2-lane road and he's just swerving left and right and he's running people off the road and shit.
Well, he ran
kind of just establishes how like, I mean, he basically owns the town.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too is like it's a fun watch and you don't like, you're not like, oh shit, like how is he rich? How is he doing this? How is no one shooting him? How is no one taking him out? And then you have Dalton's character where you're like, oh, like who the fuck? How did he learn how to fight like this? How did he learn how to do all that? But you kind of just give it up and you sit back and just enjoy the movie.
Well, I really like the scene where he brings Dalton in to his house to try to hire him.
Well,
and
why
it
the
makes
hell
sense.
would he even... But
it makes sense for the character Brad because he just buys everyone off. So like, if he sees Dalton as a problem, he's just gonna buy him off and want him to work for him. But I like the scene a lot too because, like, when you enter the house into Brad's house and you see Brad's wife for the first time and she's got like the bruises and stuff, you're like, okay, clearly this Brad guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, piece of shit.
It really just sets things up as
she's
to the
doing
person
Pilates inside, and then he's like, "Turn that shit off."
Turn that fucking shit off.
What's her name? I think it's Denise, Brad's wife. Remember, before though,
stage.
and well, not even that's after, but in the bar, she fucking grabs Dalton. She's like, "Why don't you say we go back to my place? Why don't we fuck?" She like looked him dead in his eyes,
straight to the point.
And then fucking Jimmy just like grabbed her and fucking threw her in the monster truck, like. Yeah,
dude,
and then she did the fucking dance like you said, bro. Like full tits, like getting a chair to cover him, and then a hat, and then throws it at Dalton, and then she kisses him, gets her ass beat. I was waiting for the doc to come in right when she was like up against him kissing him, but
that's what I thought too.
So
dude, all the double deuce workers with the red shirt with the white text look like Chick-fil-A workers.
I know.
They had like khakis on too. I was laughing when I was watching earlier.
Well, I think it's funny as hell too. Like right when he goes to the deuce like for the first time, and the one guy's like, what was it? Fuck, the one guy he fires, and he's like going and he was like beating the shit out of him. Yeah, he was beating the shit out of him. Like not the bartender for skimming money. No, it's when he.
The guy that's fucking that girl in the back.
Yeah, and then he fires him because he was just juiced up and he just wanted to fucking fight everyone that came in. Like, and he's like, no, you gotta like take him outside if you're gonna fight at all.
Well, that same guy, he was letting like minors in. The fucking would they show at the door a fucking Costco card or something? And he's like, she's good.
Yeah, he's like, I know her, let her in. But it's funny, man, because I mean, like any club that we go to, any bar, I mean, like obviously it's not like that. Like we see fights, but like I guess you could say like old Shillelagh when we first turned 21 was fucking. You see people get kicked down the 3-story staircase.
Yeah, because that's a full blown dive bar. Like
this makes me want to go. Saloon. This makes me want to go pick up a fucking chair and bash it over someone's head instead of a bar.
Exactly. But that's the thing too, is like it's not even like it's like cheesy fight. Like they're literally beating the fuck out of each other. Like, they're not letting up.
Well, and dude, like, what that one guy that pulled a knife on Dalton just because his girlfriend was dancing on the table. He's like, "Hey, buddy, like get her down. He's like, you got a fucking problem? He just pulls his knife out.
He just doesn't kill him.
Like, what do you say fuck me for? Like,
Your girl's on the table, fucking.
Yeah,
and he told her get down, and now he wants to kill him.
talk about the part we were talking about beforehand, the $20.
Oh man, he goes. It wasn't Denise, was it? It was just a random chick.
It was a random chick. Yeah.
It was a random chick, and the other funny, like that's the great thing about this movie is that it's hilarious. Like you wouldn't turn this on and expect it to be a comedy,
comedic relief for sure.
Yeah, and but the one part when the two guys are there, he's like, "I'll let you touch her for $20," and he's like, "Oh, okay." He's just going into it. He's like,
"Oh no!" He said,
like,
"I'll let you kiss him for $20."
Yeah, he's like, "I'll let you kiss him for $20." He goes, "All right," and then he's going doing it. He's like, "What's so funny, man?" He goes, "I don't got $20, man." And then he starts beating the shit out of him. And that's when like the big ass brawl started. No, someone throws a bottle and it smokes the guy at the bar, and then he starts beating the shit out of the other guy. It was just a chain reaction. And God, man, it's just so good.
Yeah. I'm surprised by the critic, and even I'm surprised by the audience score, to be honest with you. I thought a lot more people would like this movie more than a 66 you said?
Yeah. Audience, yep.
That's
and
crazy.
the critics 41.
Rotten Tomato scores on all these old movies are all over the place. It doesn't
according to Rotten
justify.
Tomatoes, it's an action mystery thriller. I don't really know what the mystery and
That's
thriller
about-
I mean,
I can see
the
it.
thriller
it's more of
because
a comedy than a mystery, though.
Yeah, but we
I'd
haven't
say.
really gotten to the ending where, because I mean, obviously you see Jimmy die, and he rips his throat out, and then they go on from there, and
when he's calling him over the lake or the pond,
dragging his body,
dragging
in
the
the water.
body, that was badass.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, that was
Well,
badass.
but the thing is, like, I think that's why fucking Doc right away, because he's like, Brad, fuck you, I'm coming. Like, he's vile, screaming all this shit.
Yeah, he's
Jimmy's
fired up for sure.
flying down the fucking river to Brad's house. Like, of course, like if I seen that shit, I was Doc, I'd be like, fuck this guy. This guy's crazy, you know?
Yeah, that's why and that's the part of the movie where I said that to myself too, is like, all right, obviously, like, Brad doesn't want to fuck with this guy. Like, he just saw him kill Jimmy, who was, like, better than Dalton, you know?
Yeah.
And then he still fucking keeps going at him.
Well, and that's one thing, too, I like. I knew it was going to be a build-up between Dalton and Brad, and I just didn't know, like, how they were going to be able to make it, like, a fair fight. Because if it was one-on-one, Dalton would beat the living shit out of Brad. We both know that. But the way they do it at the end, which we can kind of dive deep into now, I think that it kind of evens the playing field a little bit. Like, obviously, he had his whole crew, and except they all died except that tomato guy with the polar bear that fell on top of him.
Yeah.
So
of
The
course,
car
he's the
thing
one
was
to
cool,
live out
too.
of everyone.
the car thing was really cool, but he obviously
Really
kind of
cool.
one by one kills all of the goons, Brad's goons, for lack of better terms.
He's
And
literally
then,
John Wick in it.
Yeah,
He's
John
dead
Wick.
silent inside the house, just taking them all one
he
by
popped
one.
that silence, and he
Yeah, he literally did.
Well, because Mike, like you
Get an
said, I
ace.
didn't know how it was going to work because they all have guns, and we haven't seen Dalton use a gun, or not even really a
Yeah.
knife. He uses his fist, so I was like, what is he going to do? John Wick style, John Wick could go in there and just start shooting up.
yeah.
But like him, I don't know what he's going to do. So it was interesting
Well,
to see
Yeah, and
the way the
then we
movie
can
does it.
talk about the ending now here. So
Yeah.
obviously, kind of, I could have told you that Brad was going to creep around the house and wait for him and get him in a corner, but I was not expecting, like, what the fucking all the owners of the fucking businesses in the town just magically appear. That was sweet, like him getting shot by
I
each
think
owner.
I liked it. I enjoyed it because
I did too,
it
but, like,
makes
that's
sense because you
cheesy.
just see this guy terrorizing
That's
the town
cheesy.
like the entire movie. Like he's just burning businesses down, you know, taking money from people, breaking shit, and then they all kind of revolt against him, and they're like, "Fuck this guy!" And then especially when the cops come, like, "What happened?" "Oh, I didn't see nothing." Did you see
Yeah.
anything, buddy?
He's like,
No.
"What happened?" Then the tomato guy's like, "What happened?" He's like, "I had a polar bear on me."
Yeah. Because he knows, like, I mean, he should have fucking died there too. They would have all shot him as well.
Yeah.
He's lucky that Dalton didn't kill him, you know?
Yeah, I would have just kept laying there and acting like I was knocked out.
Yeah. And then you think when he gets up, you think he's about to shoot Dalton, and you're like, oh, God. But
He's
obviously
like,
that
I don't
happens.
want to. I don't know why, of all people, he stayed alive.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You would think Jimmy or someone like more important would stay alive.
Yeah.
Brad took so many shots too. To the
Dude,
chest,
lit him
or-
up.
Yeah, bro. Like you would think after like 3
Like
shots,
this
he'd
dude's
be
still
like,
up.
he'd be.
Firing squad.
Yeah, man.
But no, I
Hey,
mean,
when
it's a
Dalton
good
threw
story.
that knife at that guy though, up on the balcony
Sick.
That was
on the
sweet.
second floor, that was sweet.
That was
Yeah.
sweet.
There's
Yeah,
no
there's some-
Wilhelm screaming in this, is there?
No, I didn't hear it.
No,
That would have been a good spot for one though.
Yeah, and then it would have just gave it like all away though. It would have been like,
Yeah,
all right, fuck it.
might as well though.
Ooh.
That
yeah,
trophy
that's-
room was
what's
kind of
that?
sick too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What's a Wilhelm
That
scream?
generic ass scream.
Yeah, it's in Star Wars.
Oh.
It's in all these
Yeah,
movies.
it's in
Oh,
like almost every movie.
okay. I don't know.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
been in a Marvel movie though, has it?
No,
I don't think so.
Bro,
Yeah.
Why the fuck we have to talk Marvel every time?
hey Josh.
Well,
brought
it's
it
in
up,
all
man.
these big franchises though.
Okay. There we go.
Like I think it's in Indiana Jones. It's in Star Wars.
Star
it's in,
Wars.
It's the is it that? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I've shit.
But
There's
no,
TV
I
shows
mean-
that do it too.
yeah.
No, I mean, like I said, I mean, we kind of just got through the ending and all that. But even when Doc and him, like, go there's, go out of the town or wherever they went, he gets a happy ending, even though he lost Garrett and
Wade.
that was like his best friend basically.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I'm glad Cody's like fine. He didn't get killed because I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
I think it would have been crazy if he went back in that bar and Cody and Wade were dead.
Yeah.
And he would have just, I think it would have been a whole different movie. He would have been he probably would have bought a gun. He would have just ended it.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just
what
went
did
in
you
there
guys
like
think as a whole? You guys glad you watched this? Or
Yeah, I'm actually like I was pleasantly surprised at how much I like this. It honestly kind of makes me want to dive deep into like the 80s a little bit and just kind of rewatch, or not rewatch, but watch some movies of this type of genre because I'm sure
those
there are a lot of other bangers. I'm sure.
those old movies are so good, man. You got Big Lebowski, Kingpin, what else?
Pulp Fiction.
I mean, we can go into Ferris Bueller. No, not Pulp Fiction.
That's a great movie though.
Ferris Bueller, Breakfast Club. I mean, we already did Dazed and Confused.
Dirty Dancing. I like that movie.
Weekend at Bernie's is another good
Footloose.
ass one that we should rewind. You guys ever
Yeah,
seen Weekend at Bernie's?
let us know. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Seriously.
so do
many
you guys
good
want
ones.
to? There's some actually decent trivia with this movie.
Let's do it.
According to Kelly Lynch, when Bill Murray sees the sex scene with Patrick Swayze on television, he calls her husband Mitch Glazer to tease him about it. Is that funny?
What
Talk
the
shit.
fuck?
That's the other thing too, man. Like, imagine growing up and like your mom's an actress or some shit, and she's just butt ass naked. And then we even say it about like OnlyFans girls and like porn stars. Like, you literally
Jesus.
go like, yeah, it's all cool, like you're making a bunch of money, but your kid like is gonna grow up and they're just gonna get clowned. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
inevitable.
can't
It's
imagine.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, bro.
Like, imagine
Like-
that's just the only thing that anyone ever talks shit to you about. Like, hey, look, it's your mom. Oh.
God,
Yeah, this is
bro.
her
I
husband
would
who's not even
freak.
related to the movie at all.
No, there's literally gonna be a study on like grown like teenagers and their moms being in like the industry and shit. I don't knock the industry, but I mean we're
No,
gonna see
he's
it.
like, he's like, you're Dusty. He's like, your mom has an OnlyFans. Like, going back
Yeah,
and
like-
forth. So I had to
Who's this?
subscribe. I
Like,
subscribed
dude,
to it.
Hey, you gotta know how to whoop someone's ass. Like,
Yeah, bro.
you better know how to fight.
You gotta take fucking MMA classes, bro. For
Yeah,
real.
you better whoop someone's ass.
Patrick Swayze's fame caused problems during filming. A pickup truck containing a group of middle-aged blonde women attempted to drive right up to the star's trailer to meet the actor during a big fight by the river. Is that funny? Due to a knee injury he sustained during filming, Patrick Swayze turned down the roles of Gabriel Cash in Tango and Cash and Mike Harrington in Predator 2. He chose to make Ghost in 1990 as his follow-up instead, as it was less physically strenuous role. The knee injury ended up... Yeah, it is a good movie. The knee injury ended up being a blessing in disguise, as Ghost ended up being the biggest hit out of the three. So, I don't know. Predator 2 was
But I
really
feel
cool
like
too,
if
though.
he was in Predator, what was it, 1, 2, and 3, or just 2 and 3?
Just Predator 2.
Just Predator 2. I feel like that would have been fucking nuts if Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, he would
was
have been
in
great in that too.
it. Yeah.
Patrick Swayze was training by kickboxing champion Benny Urquizta, who also has a small cameo in the film.
Okay.
No.
So, I mean, you
Okay,
can
that's
definitely
cool.
tell the kickboxing. We mentioned it earlier with all the kicking that he does,
Yeah.
but he makes it work. Patrick Swayze once commented that during production he was not sure he would live through the making of this movie. Fuck.
All right, bro. Like,
Wait, say that again.
then don't
Okay.
fucking do the movie.
Patrick
like,
Swayze
goddamn.
commented that during production, he was not sure he would live through the making of this movie. So while it was being made, he commented saying that he wasn't sure if he was going to make it through.
Why? Because he had cancer?
I don't know. I mean, the cancer didn't affect him until 20 years later. I think he figured out he had it a year before he died. So
Wow.
I don't even think it was that. I don't know. I think maybe...
I completely forgot he died, to be honest with you, until you said it.
Really?
I thought it was like 2013 or 14. Like, I thought it was a lot more recent than
We're getting old, man.
12 years ago, 13 years ago. So
There we
14
go.
years ago, actually.
Like I mentioned, man, I mean, I'm just looking back at all of his movies. This was the right before, or right in his prime, because Dirty Dancing was the
that
thing
was
that put him
87.
on the map for sure.
Yeah, then
And,
this, then Ghost.
Yeah, but I mean, you also got to think that he was in Red Dawn, which was '84. And
Yeah.
even Outsiders is '83.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are good ass movies, and obviously he's a lot younger in The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen any of these movies really, but like the original Red Dawn was great. The remake was also great. A lot of people gave it shit, but that was like one of the movies that I would watch all the time. But like you mentioned earlier, Donnie Darko, Next of Kin. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
That one I have not
Another
seen.
good ass movie.
Yeah. I've heard about that one.
But yeah,
The film's
Point Break, obviously.
Yeah, Point Break's great too. The film's original tagline referenced Patrick Swayze's success in Dirty Dancing, saying, "The dancing's over. Now it gets dirty." It's kind of funny. It's kind of clever. It's good marketing, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Marshall Tagg told a story that he took his mother to the premiere of the movie. When the fight against Dalton happens, and he says the line, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison," his mother jumped up and proudly shouted, "That's my boy." So that's the character of Jimmy, that actor. That's kind of funny. So,
Okay.
It's awesome.
yeah, so clearly took a little bit of a toll on Patrick Swayze, but I hope he didn't regret making the movie because I think it was pretty good. I mean,
definitely not.
like we just said, there's a bunch of bangers that he did, especially in that time, in that decade. So, or those couple decades.
Just made
He's a
him more
great actor.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's up there with Arnold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you basically hit all the trivia. I didn't know too much about this movie. I mean, it's good to hear some like shit, like even behind the scenes with the girls that are pulling up on him while he's filming the
Yeah,
pond
just
scene.
random ass fans
Yeah.
showing up.
Dude, things were so different back then, bro. Like
yeah.
shit was so more open and just like there wasn't all like this like little tidbits like you gotta worry about. Like people just fucking went for whatever the fuck they wanted.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
That shit was probably crazy, dude.
And you gotta think this is they're probably recording it or filming it in 1988, right? So a year after, not even Dirty Dancing, where he gains all these like younger fans too.
Yeah.
These early 20s
It's like
girls. So
It's like Tom Holland after he fucking did Spider-Man. Everybody's going
Yeah.
crazy for him.
yeah, so it makes sense. But it, like you said, it's crazy. How do they even maintain that? And that's an intense scene by the river. So he's in that
Dude,
headspace.
I can't even imagine acting out a sex scene and not like, like I would be like, all right, like I know there's like certain ways like they do it where they put like stuff in between them,
pillow
and-
or a
Or
ball or
socks
some
or
shit.
even-
yeah, but
And
it's just like,
Mike's like, it's really cold in here.
yeah, not even that. I fucking
It's like
like
you zoom out a little bit.
no, but like you don't think that like they have to like get turned on like when they do like sex
100%,
scenes,
man.
yeah,
when you're with
yeah.
a chick that looks like Doc too.
Yeah,
Fucking
bro.
not.
I'd be like, I'm sorry, like what is-
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's got to be more awkward than it is like anything, you know?
Well, imagine if like they start dating, like, or they're actually enjoying it, like good for them. Like, I don't know, bro.
Yes. Or he's enjoying it and she just, all right, cut. See ya.
He's like, cut.
He's just
and he's
fucking scared.
like, it's cut. I love you.
Here's the fucking camera guy's thrown out. He kills the director. He's like,
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
You guys wanna get to
said,
the
it's
scores?
gotta be more awkward.
Yeah.
Yep. You want me to start off since it's my recommendation?
Sure.
Yep.
Cool. I mean, like I said, I already went through the entire movie. I mean, this is just a good watch. I mean, it's badass from start to finish. Patrick Swayze, obviously one of the GOATs, and I mean, you got a good ass cast too, like we mentioned. Sam Elliott. You've got all those older guys that are playing. The guy that plays Brad. And then even like those small characters like Jimmy and all them, I think everyone plays their part pretty well. I mean, all they have to do is basically show their face, and it just it makes you want them to get their ass beat, and that's what happens, and that's the best part of the movie. So I think it's very unique. Like I said, I mean, there's nothing that's really compared to this. I mean, you could say Fight Club and Blood and Bone and all those other like MMA movies from like the early 2000s. But I think this one's good because it doesn't dive deep into, you know, their past, and it doesn't show a lot of their future, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a great ass movie. If you haven't seen it, for sure go watch it. It's on Netflix. Yeah, I feel confident giving this a 96 out of 100. Classic.
96?
Oh, that's high.
That's high. You're high as fuck, Hayden. I like this movie,
It's
but
a good ass movie, man.
Oh my god, bro. All right, well,
Imagine someone that's seen this when it originally came out, and now they can go and watch it on Netflix at their house. You know?
Fuck, man. That's up there with like
there's nothing in this movie that I
gave
critique.
Wolf of Wall Street a 96, bro. Like that's crazy, dude.
Well, you're not me.
I'm glad I'm not you with that dumbass score.
Yeah, it should be.
Damn.
See Wolf of Wall Street once, man.
All right. I lived in Wolf of Wall Street. I was the one that was telling fucking Leo's dad that the crabs cured cancer, okay?
No.
All right.
I wish.
So I'll go next here. Like Aiden said, I think this movie is really unique. I really can't compare it to much else other than, like Aiden said, Fight Club. I think that'd probably be a really good comparison for it. But good cast. I wish I knew kind of the older actors and the movies they played in a little bit more. I got to kind of catch up a little bit in terms of just like just knowing that stuff and watching a little bit more movies and just getting a little bit more background. But the acting was really great. Obviously, Sam Elliott, Patrick Swayze. They killed it. Really good cast here, really good acting. Comedic relief. There's not much this movie is missing. It's a little cheesy, I think, for the most part. And there's some plot points that are kind of a little weak. So for me, I'm going to give it an 82 out of 100. I think 96 is a little high, Aiden. I definitely like this movie. And I definitely think this is something that I would rewatch, which is kind of unique for the rewatches or for the rewinds for me because more times than not, I really don't like rewatching a lot of these rewinds, but I can definitely say that I want to rewatch Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think that's a good score. I'm right around there actually. I think the length of the movie's perfect. It has like some of the cheesy moments in it, but I really do appreciate that he did his own fighting because I feel like in a movie in the 80s, we've seen it before with other movies where, you know, especially movies that are focused on these fight scenes where it's not really them fighting, right? Especially in a movie like this where he doesn't have a costume or anything covering his face where they could sub someone else in. It has to be him in all these shots or most of the shots. So I really do appreciate that. I'm going to go with the 78 because I really did enjoy the movie. I probably will rewatch it one day, and I would recommend it to someone who hasn't seen it for sure. So
I was gonna give it a 78 too, but Aiden kind of swayed me, fucking going up a little bit.
Yeah, so I wrote it down before. I thought we'd all be in the 70s or 80s. That's what I was guessing.
I mean, but that's the thing is like I think that the
96
fight scenes
is
make up for
crazy, man.
Dude, it's like, but it's a great movie. Like I enjoy it every time I watch it. I go rewatch it right now, and I still enjoy it the exact same as I did the first time.
Well, so when I wrote down my score for 78, I figured Rotten Tomatoes audience score was higher than that because I didn't look. So I'm shocked at 66. That still doesn't make sense to me.
I figured that the critic score was going to be about the same or even higher than the audience score. To be honest with you, but
yeah, it's only 41.
But who the fuck was going on their computer in 89 and fucking...
It's only 46 reviews.
It's the Rotten Tomatoes, this fucking startup thing.
Yeah.
No one. So, but no, I mean, I think the fight scenes literally, that's like the entirety of this movie. Like, I think that they did a good ass job with that. So every time that there's fighting on the screen, I mean, that's basically what the movie's about. You're not in it for the love interest. You're not in it for, all the other stuff. I think it just flows perfectly. Yeah, it's got the comedy. It's funny as hell. The music's good, and then you just got Patrick Swayze beating the fucking brakes off of people. So and Sam Elliott, he can't beat that. I wish that they would have made a second one with, obviously
they did make a second one.
Yeah, but
Not
with
a real one.
What's his name, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, not a real one. Yeah. At least with
I'm
Wade.
curious.
But
I
prequel
think
or
this
something.
could have. I think this could have been a trilogy, bro. They fucking, they do move to another town, and
Yeah,
then,
definitely,
And then
but-
Doc comes with them, but they break up, and he finds another love interest, and they kind of get together in the third, and they're happy ever after. I can write it right now in my head, bro.
See, but I think that this first one's so good that, like, even if they did make a second or a third, like, all right, how many times? It's like John Wick. Like, John Wick we know is corny or, like, cheesy enough to where, like, he's obviously the best of the best. But, like, we see him, like, almost dying in this one. Like, like...
But you enjoy all the
But he's not
rest
like
of the John
he's
Wicks.
not an assassin is what I'm saying. Like, he's
I
not
mean,
trained to kill people. He just beats the shit out of people.
Exactly. Like, why would you
He's
not
just good
want to
at
see
fighting.
that?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
but
like
then
it's
it,
like
kind of
John Wick. Oh, he kills the bad guy every time, or fucking Star Wars.
but
Oh,
that's
the
the
good guys
point.
win. Exactly.
This guy, you don't know his backstory, so he's just a normal ass dude that just knows how to fight.
Hey, what if he just fucking died and that's how the movie ended?
He could have done
That'd be
that.
a shitty ending.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it made
I mean,
some more money, it probably would have been a trilogy or something, though.
I swear to God, I really hope more movies start doing that. They start fucking just killing people off at the end, or fucking
Well, then
having.
but he kind of doesn't give it a good ending.
That's subjective, though.
Well, it depends on what the rest of the movie was.
Exactly.
You can't just be like, oh, he's fine, and then he just fucking dies.
Exactly. Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, if you build up to something like that, where it's like, or it can be like up to your own judgment, like, oh, did he really die? Like John Wick 4, the ending. Did he really die? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to the interpretation of the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Fucking.
Well, I mean, the
Like
greatest
goddamn
fucking ending of all
Inception.
time is Prisoners. Look at that. You don't know if he gets saved or not.
Yeah, you got to assume.
Is Bruce Wayne dead in Dark Knight Rises?
No, he's alive.
No, he's alive.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty
See, you
clear.
don't know.
He's alive.
I don't know.
Could have been a dream, though.
Alfred's old.
Yeah, it could have been a dream.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just seeing shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you say.
Maybe Patrick Swayze is dead, and you just think that he's alive.
All right, that's a little too far. I think. Rest in peace, Patrick
Yeah, rest in
Swayze.
peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I mean, thanks for watching this one.
Yeah, that was a good pick,
I mean,
Aiden.
Yes, sir.
I'm really interested to see. I think your next pick should probably be PG or PG-13. I think we should
for,
cap
You
it.
need to- you
for
need
a
to do
younger
it.
audience,
You need to do a
I
goddamn
laughed.
Disney
I laughed
animated
when I saw
movie.
those
favor
first-
the kids.
When I saw that first pair of tits, I laughed, Aiden, because just all your picks are like that.
You had to pause it. You never seen them.
Yeah, I paused it really quick.
You had to take a
I
mental
laughed. I
screenshot.
paused it. Yeah, and then there was
Then you checked to see if anyone
Hey,
was
you're
coming down the
talking,
stairs.
motherfucker. You're the only version
Yeah.
of this podcast, man. Even Brian's hit before you.
Damn.
All right.
No, but thank you for the pick, Aiden. That was good. We'll be back on Friday with Asteroid City and The Bear Season 2. So it should be a good episode.
Sure.
But thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace.